Hello, my friends. How are you? I will share with you my story with the internet and how I had a frightening experience with someone. After getting to know us online, let's go. Meetings seem very easy and instant on the internet, but beware of bad intentions and deceptive appearances. Try and you'll see. I was 35 years old and had lost hope of ever finding the man of my life, so my friends encouraged me and I agreed to register my name on a dating site. At first, I was cautious about the topic and embarrassed to appear in front of people as if I had failed, and I started trying in various ways until the matter reached the internet. But in reality, I had no other choice. That's why I completed all the affiliation procedures, attached a photo of myself, and gave details about my appearance, taste, desire, and what I want from the other person. Then the parade began, and hundreds of supporters flocked to me. It was good for me to feel wanted, even if it was imaginary, by men all over the world. I enjoyed it so much that I became very attached to this site, so I visited it from the office and even from my mobile phone. After some time, I had to choose one. Alfred was a very handsome and attractive man, just the right age, educated, and an engineer like me. On top of all that, he had a cheerful spirit. We used to meet daily online, and he waited impatiently for him and flew with joy every time he appeared on the network. It is very strange to become attached to someone we have never met. When I gave him my phone number, he called me immediately. His voice was wonderful and his conversation was so interesting that we talked for hours. I had no choice but to see him face to face, and I waited impatiently for the moment I would be in his company. Finally, we set a meeting date for the following week when the awaited day arrived. I was very nervous like a teenager, and I spent long hours choosing my clothes and imagining all possible situations. When I arrived at the cafe where we agreed, my heart was beating very fast. Fortunately for me, he hasn't arrived yet, which gives me time to regain my composure. A few moments later, as I began to fear that I might be the victim of a scam, a man sitting at the next table stood up and approached me and said, "Hello, it's me. Excuse me, Alfred, we have a date together." I stared carefully at this person, who could not possibly be the same man I had spoken to every day for 2 full weeks. This person standing in front of me was very ugly, his way of dressing was very poor, and he seemed condescending. "You are certainly wrong, you are nothing like the person I'm waiting for." He said it while sitting at my table, but for the sake of secrecy. I did not put my real photo on the website. I felt deceived by this dangerous confession. I was very honest when I posted my picture. I liked my speech, the way I looked at things, and my voice. "Then why don't you agree to the rest?" He said this urgently, and in my opinion it doesn't matter that you lied to me and used someone else's photo. I'm sorry, next time I advise you to be honest with women so that everyone can avoid such ugly shocks. When I stood up, he tried to grab my arm, but I succeeded in getting rid of him and quickly left. I was so angry and disappointed after I thought I had finally found the man of my dreams. In the evening, Alfred called me and I told him clearly that I wanted to put an end to our relationship once and for all, so he started sending me text messages. Then one day all attempts stopped and I thought he had finally given up. I felt relieved until I saw him in a car parked in front of my house. When I left the building to go to work, he was not hostile. On the contrary, he was smiling and trying to be friendly. I was terrified, so I went back to the house and quickly closed the door with tears in his eyes. How did he know my address? He probably caught up with me. The day we met, I looked out the window without him seeing me and found that he was still where he was. I decided to call the office and apologized for not coming in because I was sick. A car remained parked in the same place all day and part of the night, and I did not sleep an eyelid because I was preoccupied. Early in the morning, I felt relieved he was gone. I almost forgot about the matter, but in the evening, when I was returning home, I found his car in the same place, so I decided to confront him to end the story. "What are you doing here?" I asked him in a stern tone. "I was waiting for you because you are not answering calls and I need to talk to you. If I don't answer, it means that I don't want to talk to you, but I want to get to know you more." Our relationship started off well, and I don't understand your behavior. You lied to me, and I don't like it. And I think that's enough reason if you get another chance, and I'm sure you will like me. Don't insist. Leave me in peace and do not try to contact me or come here. I entered the building and he was gone. The next day, he was waiting for me at the door as I left work, sitting in his chair reading the newspaper. He did not talk to me or look at me, and at that moment I realized that he would not leave me in peace. I no longer go out unless I'm with someone. According to the advice of those close to me, I informed the police, but they had no help. He has the right to be on my street and near my work as long as he does not harm me. I decided to analyse the situation. Since the law allows him to prosecute him, why not do the same? There is no doubt that he lives nearby and has a job and a family. A colleague of mine accepted to do the job and followed him to pick it up. From this moment, I knew that I would catch the hunter. After 2 days had passed, I knew all the details of his life, his real name, his address, his profession, and that he was married and had 2 children. For this reason, he did not dare to put his picture and changed his name and profession. The next day, when I left the office, he was still there reading the newspaper with a cup of coffee in his hand. I went towards him and said, "Samar, it is worrying to see you here. You will be late for your work at the bank. Also, do not spend the entire evening near my house. Najwa and my parents must be waiting impatiently. Unless you'd rather me tell them how you spend your time." He was astonished and almost choked while drinking his coffee. He couldn't utter a single word. His lips were trembling. He muttered the words, "I'm sorry," and then disappeared. Since then, I have no longer seen his face, and the nightmare is over. Simply put, this has been my experience online. What an experience! What do you think of the internet and dating on it? Share your opinions and experiences with me online in the comments. Goodbye, in the hope that we will meet with a new story and a new experience.